Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm Phlinger Phoo, and today we're going to be discussing a bunch of the new stuff that's Wildcard has announced. Well, they announced it last month, but I haven't been able to get to it. So I decided that I was going to do a separate video, basically of just me talking about a lot of the stuff that's going through here. I realize I don't do this very much on my channel. Matter of fact, this is the first one I've ever done this like this. But there's a lot of new changes that are happening with the upcoming TLC patch that I want to take a look at and give you my thoughts on it and see how I feel it's going to be affecting the game. Because, I mean, a lot of the stuff seems to be really, really cool. So, hey, we're going to hop in there, we're going to take a look, and we're going to see, you know, what the new changes are going to be. Alright, so now the first one we're going to talk about here, this is the Dire Bear. This is the new Dire Bear. Now take a look at this guy. Now the guy on the left is the new one. The guy on the right is the old one. Now the one on the right, it looks pretty good. I mean, it does. It looks really good. But its fur looks to be kind of matted and stuff like that, and the one on the left just looks far more furious. It looks far more ferocious. It just looks like it's a bear that's ready to eat your face. And that's kind of what you want when you're going for a Dire Bear. All right, now here, let me read a few things off their, from the website that they listed. And let me also preface this with the rest of it, saying that, their patch is slotted to be released on PC around the 18th of February. Now, I'm not sure how rock solid that is. You guys, everybody knows Wildcard, right? So it might not be, you know, coming out exactly when they say it is, but you know what? It's still in the works, which is awesome. Just the fact that this is coming is really cool. All right, so to start off, let's see. For the Dire Bear, it's they're going to be able to gather honey. All right. And this is from their site. It says, we believe the Dire Bear is in a relatively secure place at the moment. And they're right. All right. And though we are still planning to make a few changes to it. When riding a Dire Bear, players will be immune to bees. Now, that's kind of cool, actually. But the fact that most of them, you can only get them around the redwoods. And the redwoods on the island it's so dangerous that you're going to have to get one of these as kind of either a dedicated honey gatherer, or you're going to have to, I don't know. I mean, you could always just tame a bee and raise it in your own base, and you wouldn't have to worry about it. But then again, I mean, I've done videos on how to tame the Dire Bear at a low level. So, I mean, if you get a Dire Bear lower on, I can see how that would be viable. And then also it says that they won't be able to knock you off your bear, and they will target foes. And they will target focus the bear instead of the player, which is awesome, because I mean there's nothing. I mean, that would make it really viable to actually tame a queen bee, because when you go smack the nest, the first thing the bees are going to do is they're going to knock you off your dino and make you have a really bad day. So I guess that could be cool. I'm not sure how big of a use that's going to be, but it could be. All right, and in addition to that, they say that the next thing that the bear will also be able to harvest honey from wild beehives without attracting bees or hurting the hive. Plus, the amount of honey it receives will be 2 times the standard amount. Now, that's kind of cool, which means that you're not going to really have to tame a queen bee if you don't want one. I mean, if you have a base that's close enough to the redwoods, you can just run down to the corner market, which is the redwoods, harvest a couple beehives, get your fill, and then go about your merry way. Do what you will with the honey. You don't really need to go harvest a whole ton of wildflowers. I mean, I could see how you would want that instead of having the bees. But then again, the bees, they're just taming a queen bee and leaving the beehive in your base. It's such a good idea, because instead of having to go down to the corner market, you just go to the outside fridge. Yeah, that's really about it. Well, I don't know. Anyway, but then again, I don't know. The look of the new Dire Bear is the really clincher for me. I mean, the fact that it gathers the honey, that's kind of just a bonus. But from the look of the Dire Bear, yeah, it's just a win-win for that dude. I mean, he's looking sharp, he's looking good, he's ready for the runway, and Yeah, I'm really liking the way they're changing the model on this, because I always thought that the diagram on the right, it was always lacking. It just always was. But the diagram on the left, it looks so much better, so much better. Good job on that wild card. All right, now moving on to the next one. This is the one we've got. Okay, now we've got the Procoptodon. Now the Procoptodon, to me, has always been really goofy. I mean, look at the one on the right. That's the one that we currently have, the one on the right. The one on the left is the new one. We're not going to talk about that one yet. We're going to talk about the one on the right. The one on the right just looks silly. It looks like its face is just drawn on. It looks like one of those little dolls where you just do the stitching on the mouth and that's it. And then you put the little button nose on. It just looks goofy, and it really never had much of a purpose. I mean, yeah, they were fast and they had a really good jump, but then again, so are so many other dinos. And then once you actually get a flyer, just forget about it. I mean, you'd never even think twice about using a Procoptodon. So, but anyway, with the changes that they're putting in, not only are they making it look a lot cooler and making the fur on it just look amazing. I mean, you have to admit, it just looks amazing. The ears are bigger, the eyes more pronounced, the mouth definitely, and then those jowls that it's got, oh man, those are so cool looking. It just fits perfectly. That model is great. The new model, yeah, I'm really digging that one. One of the things they're doing is they're making it so where it takes reduced fall damage, which is something that's definitely necessary. I mean, because you look at Thylacoleos, Sabertooths, all sorts of different stuff, just about everything on Aberration, they all have reduced fall damage. And that's kind of what the Procoptodon needed, because a big jump like that and not having reduced fall damage, that was just silly. But now they actually are having reduced fall damage, which is, yeah, it's pretty cool. It's kind of what it needed. And then its carry weight will be noticeably increased. I'm not sure how noticeably increased it will be, but they say that they're increasing it, which is definitely something that it needed. I hope that it actually has some sort of a weight reduction. I'll get into that here in just a minute. Now, it says also they're going to gain the ability to carry baby dinos and small creatures in his pouch. Now, I'm not sure what this means, but I mean, if you can carry all babies, but carrying all babies would be really cool, especially like with raising wyverns and stuff like that, or rock drakes, anything like that, and then you just pop it in there, and then maybe if they actually incorporate that, so where if you have to give the baby a walk, if you could get it a walk inside the pouch, that would be kind of cool. That would be really cool. You know, actually, if they went a step further and made it so where it helped with the imprinting process, I mean, not like giving it kibble or anything like that, but, you know, it just helping you along with it. I'm not sure how they would do it, but that would be a really cool idea, though. And then they say that they feel that it's in a good spot, and I have to kind of disagree because there's really no use for it. But they said that they're also planning on giving it a kick, because before it didn't really have any attacks. I mean, now they're adding it a kick, which is going to be a pretty tough kick that's able to knock back significantly larger dinos, which sounds really cool. So now if you're cruising along, say like on the edge of a cliff or a mountain or something like that, something comes up, wants to tango with you, you can just kick it off the edge, which is really, really cool. That sounds like a lot of fun. I wonder, you know, hey, take something up to the top of the volcano or one of the mountains nearby, or up to Giga Mountain, and then kick it off. See, go for distance, see how far you get. That'd be pretty cool. But also, another thing I wanted to say earlier about the weight reduction is anything carried in the pouch. I wonder if you get a weight reduction for things carried in the pouch. I think that'd be pretty cool if they did something like that. Like if you have riders that, you know, for PvP or something like that, and they're really geared up, they're ready for war, and you just load one up into the pouch and then weight reduction. That'd be really cool. That would add a whole new level to a bunch of different stuff. I don't know. Could you just picture the Procoptodon army coming its way? Procoptodon, the new meta. No, that'd never happen. All right, so hey, let's move on to the next one. All right, now the next thing we're going to discuss is the Bigfoot, the Gigantopithecus. Now, and I think it's really cool that on the site they actually call it the Bigfoot, which means that they think of this thing the same way I do. It's really cool. All right, but I guess the first thing they're going to give him is an attack that breaks armor, which is really cool, because in my opinion, the Gigantopithecus, while it's cool and it's elusive out in the wild, it's so far underutilized. Because, I mean, yeah, the ability to throw people over walls and stuff, yeah, that's cool and all, but, yeah, flyers. Yeah, reasons. All right, but I guess with this with this armor degrading attack, the more it damages, once it destroys the armor, it's going to be able to just pound whatever it is that's attacking it, which just sounds really cool. And also, they're giving it a jump ability, because why not? I mean, why? I don't understand why it never had a jump ability to begin with. But also, they're giving it a jump ability because it's going to be able to climb zip lines, which is really cool. But that also bears the question, are they going to be bringing zip lines into the island, onto the center, onto Ragnarok? That would be really cool if they just opened it up, so where anybody that had that, had the Aberration expansion could just freely craft that stuff on those maps, but with different materials. Because I don't know, some of the Aberration stuff, while it's really cool, it would just fit in so much better in some of the other ones, like the wingsuit, and the zip line, stuff like that. But, the wingsuit, they take gems to craft. But then again, I don't know. It's food for thought, I guess. I just hope that eventually they do transfer a lot of that stuff. It's also like adding silk to the island would be really cool, from Scorched Earth. So where you could freely make the desert cloth armor, especially now on the island where they have the heat wave type effects that they have on Scorched Earth. Because, when you're playing the island and then the sky gets all orange and stuff like that, you get really hot. Yeah, that's a heat wave effect. It's kind of new to the island, which I still think is really cool. That's a great addition to the island. But why don't they take the little bits and pieces that they've learned from doing all these from the expansions and move them onto the island and then to all the other ones? I mean, I think that's kind of necessary. I think that's kind of needed, which is really, really cool. And then also, in addition to those changes, they're also going to be adding the ability so the Bigfoot, the Gigantopithecus, they can carry small creatures on their shoulder that's not just the people, and then throw them as well, which I'm not sure how they're going to do that with teaming up with, have like a human plus something on the shoulder, or they're just going to be able to pick that up. You can just say you could throw a small animal at it and the Gigantopithecus would just pick it up. Oh, that'd be really, really cool. I look forward to seeing what they do with that. Sounds really, really cool. But anyway, let's take a look at this image, because the image on the right, and that one, that's the current one we have, is the image on the right. And it's always been kind of lacking. The face is it's just not there. And the image on the left, oh man, that looks so much better, especially the face and the fur. And oh man, that looks great. Yeah, I can't wait until we get this guy. I just can't wait. All right, well, hey, let's jump on to the next one. All right, now we're jumping into the direwolf. Now, the direwolf's getting a few interesting changes that I'm thinking might eventually change over. It might change how the Allosaurus is, but here, it's the alpha buff that they get. It's no longer going to be a constant buff that they have at all times. It's going to be an ability that lasts for a predetermined set time for the howl, and it's going to be like the Allosaurus. When you have the alpha roar, then all the other ones around it roar. But with the alpha of the direwolves, when it howls, all the other ones around it howl, and then all the ones that howl get this buff that increases its damage quite a bit, more than what the alpha bonus currently does. But it's going to be a timed buff, which means that you're going to have to be paying attention to that, which is kind of cool. I like the fact that it's not always on. You have to pay attention to it, and it has that bonus effect. It has the immersion quality, which is really great, because, I mean, who doesn't want to be immersed when you're playing with big stompy dinos and direwolves on, an open world map? Come on, you're lying if you say no. All right, so yeah, and then also let's take a look at the looks of these guys, because the one on the right, yeah, it's a wolf. It's kind of blasé. Now the one on the left looks like how I would picture a direwolf. I mean, if I was thinking of a big giant wolf, a prehistoric wolf, that's it. I think they nailed it with that one. It looks so good. I love how the ears are positioned, how the eyes are positioned, how the face has that smooth quality. Yeah, it's just great. And then it has that tuft of fur right around its mane. Yeah, that looks great. All right, now we're also going to be discussing a few more things they're adding to it because they're upgrading its nose, believe it or not. Yes, its nose, which is really, really cool. They're giving it 2 different abilities for its nose. The first one, they're giving it the ability to sniff out players and creatures around you that have 50% less health. Yeah, it's kind of cool. And they say, think of it like it's the hunter's instinct, which makes a lot of sense because that does kind of sound like what a hunter's instinct would. I wonder if it'll have like a path going to it, or it'll just highlight it with a red outline in the distance. That would be kind of cool. I think the path would probably be the best way if it just like, had like a little, footsteppy things like, hey, this is the direction this guy went. That'd be kind of cool. And then also the second ability they're giving this dude's nose is the ability to sniff out nearby explorer notes, detect stealth or buried creatures. That's huge. That's so cool for unlocking Steam achievements and stuff like that, or on the PlayStation achievements, the Xbox. Oh man, that is so cool. Just the ability to be able to find where all these things are. The explorer notes. Really, really cool. And then be able to detect stealth stuff or buried creatures. Yeah, that's really cool. I'm really looking forward to that guy. Yeah, the direwolf. Oh yeah, this guy is getting so much better. It's awesome. It's awesome. All right, well, hey, let's jump into the next one. All right, now this is the last one. This is the next one, but it's the last one. It's the T-Rex. And the T-Rex, well, I mean, I have to admit, these are the changes I like the most on any dino, and it's not the abilities they're getting, which is getting some pretty cool ones, and I'll discuss those here in a minute, but the look of the T-Rex has always been lacking with that round nose that it has at the end of its face. It's just a blocky look to it, but that's the one on the right. That's the old one. The one on the left, that's the new one. This actually looks like a predator. It looks like something that you would be just terrified of seeing, which brings me into the first ability. They're getting a new roar. Now, they've already had a roar, which was added some time ago, which is very cool, but now the roar is gonna make people poop, which is so cool. The fact that it just one roar from this guy, and it says on the page that the enemy has to be targeted. Maybe it's like a directional attack, like a conal ability or something like that out in front of it, like the old school MMOs, the cone, or like a big shotgun blast out in front of it, where anything caught in that will just poop itself silly. That'd be so funny if that was the way it was. But yeah, that's going to be their ability. And they even said specifically that the poop is going to have the ability to force players to poop, or enemies to poop, is going to have a cooldown on it, which means that you can't poop lock people, which would be hilarious if you could do it. I look forward to seeing what they do. It's unfortunate that you can't poop lock people, but it's also cool because that would really suck, being poop locked. I can see many meme videos coming around. That would be really cool. But yeah, and the last ability they're giving these guys, it's the last ability on this list, is they're changing the way they interact with the environment, the rocks. They're improving their movement/climbing ability, which is something that T-Rex has needed so much. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to see that one before I believe it, because, I mean, if they give them a better climbing ability than, say, like an Allosaurus, because Allosaurus is really one of my go-to dinos because it doesn't get stuck up on rocks. I don't know. Time will tell. Yeah, but, I mean, anyway, look at that guy. Doesn't he just look menacing with the big horn protrusions over its eyes and the way they narrowed its snout? Oh, it looks so mean and vicious. Looks so good. Oh, yeah. But anyway, that's going to do it for this. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys liked hearing my thoughts on this. The new input from Wildcard on this TLC. This is great. I'm really looking forward to this. So, hey, Which dino are you looking forward to the most? I'm looking forward to the T-Rex the most. That guy's gonna be awesome. All right, but hey, anyway, if you liked the video, click that like button. I really appreciate that, and make sure you leave a comment down below telling me which one you are looking forward to most. But anyway, until next time, this is Phlinger Phoo. Take it easy, everyone.